Hi, I'm Mark Wilson. I'm the team leader at Katalyst and Cornerstone Churches. Part of the journey of finding out what the Lord wanted us to do was really discerning His heart for what this new church would look like. And I woke up one night with the name Katalyst Church in my mind, and I got up and wrote it down, and it was Katalyst with a K, because the heart of what God wanted us to do was to extend His kingdom through the local church. The Lord really led us faithfully in showing us that this area of Officer and the region around it would very quickly draw people to a vision that had the heart of God in it. And so David set up a meeting with Pakenham Baptist Church, Beaconsfield Baptist Church and Berwick Baptist Church, and the three pastors of those churches were very strongly behind the vision of what we desired to do. In fact, they'd been praying for quite some time for a church plant to happen in Officer, and so they very quickly rallied to the cause. So in the lead up to actually having a formal service, we just went everywhere and anywhere we could just to talk to people. We just tried to generate a profile of Katalyst Church. We picked a date on the calendar and just thought that we would do a Vision Sunday and just run people through our heart and vision for the future. And about 110, 120 people turned up on that Sunday. And then we set up on September 11th, 2011 to be our first service, and by the grace of God, most of those people came back and have stayed with us on the journey. So about 2 years into the journey of Katalyst, the Lord really prompted me to fulfill the bigger vision of not just planting Katalyst, but to plant other satellite churches out of Katalyst with the giftedness that God has in that group of people. But the process of actually drawing people out of Katalyst when they've really only been going for 2 years, it's still a settling time, was a pretty daunting thing to do. But we just had to trust that the Lord had said this is the model, and if that was the model He'd called us to, then He would be the provider. It hasn't been an easy process, but they have just really rallied together, and their heart and soul is in this, and we've slowly seen Cornerstone grow over the last 6 months to be a functioning, healthy church in its own right. One of the difficult things about planning a second church was that we had to divide our time between Katalyst and Cornerstone as the overall leaders, and keep the momentum and the vision of both churches alive and fresh in people's hearts and minds. So that was a big change for the people at Katalyst to not see us every second week. And it sort of created, for a period of time, a sense of uncertainty. Is this going to work? How do we cope with the loss of our leaders, our main leaders? And the beauty, I think, of what we'd sown into the church already was that it wasn't all about two people. That for the church to be a vibrant, healthy place, it had to be about a team of leaders, a congregation of people that were sold out to be servants and to be people that will give their lives to the cause of the local church. So even though there was this uncertainty in the back of people's mind, the fact that so many people stood up and injected their extra energy and extra skill set into the life of the church, very quickly people realised this is going to survive. And so our heart is to create a church planting movement, if that's the right word, to see the people that are in Katalyst and Cornerstone come to the surface and say, look, we want to be part of the new thing that God is going to do in the next church plant. So we're thinking about a church plant somewhere at the back end of Pakenham or in that area called Captivate Church, which will have that sense of being a kingdom vision, but really capturing the heart of people in that community and wanting to reach out to them. So we know that this is something that's going to happen again and again and again, but we know now that having done it once and going through that pain and anguish, that God met us on the other side of that with His grace and His goodness and His provision. And so we know that the first hurdles have been over now, and God will give us the grace to do that again.